Well, hello everybody. Welcome, and Happy New Year. This is actually my first show back for 2021, and I'm feeling a bit rusty. It was like, oh, wow. Oh, I'm going to be on here chatting to some beautiful people this morning, and it's going to be great. But what is the topic today? The topic I'd love to chat with you about today is sense of joy. What brings you joy? So have a little bit of a think about that. But first off, who am I? Hi, Nikki. Hello. I'm Leonie Featherstone, and my business is called Sense of Empowerment. I work with the beautiful doTERRA essential oils, and they are my vehicle to reach out and touch lives and be able to work with people, to work with their limiting beliefs, with their wellness challenges, all sorts of things, and above all, to create some wonderful long-term friendships. Nikki, it's lovely to have you back today. And yes, definitely, I can organise a card for you. Some of you may be new today, so this is what we like to do on my show. I love to share the wisdom of essential oils. That's the topic. We chat about various things, but also I'm happy to draw an essential oil card for you and interpret that for you and offer some life wisdom that goes along with that. And hopefully that can help you, whether it's on a mind, body, spirit level. It doesn't really matter, because what I find is that I believe in holistic wellness, and our essential oils work so beautifully to help balance and harmonize our mind, body, and spirit. And basically what we find is that if we can help to lessen our physical woes, we can then move into working on healing our heart and letting go of limiting beliefs, and then opening ourselves up to being the most amazing beings that we were put on this earth to be. So can you do me a favor? Can you let me know where you are saying hello from, and maybe pop in your thoughts on what is joy? And I'd really love to know, what brings you joy? What does joy mean to you? Because I've got a few thoughts and I want you to play along with me today. So we're going to be chatting. I'm going to be sharing some wisdom. You're going to be sharing with me, and we'll do some cards. But first up, I always like to draw an oil card for the collective. And it's really interesting because the one I drew today is myrrh. Now, myrrh is very much about nurturing, and we kind of associate her with like Mama Earth and the loving, nurturing love and wisdom of a mother. And so what myrrh is encouraging us to do is to let go of any feelings of being unsafe. And I think at the moment this is really appropriate because there's so much fear around, and we know we need to let go of fear. We need to live in faith that when we take the right actions, we will be taken care of as well. So myrrh is going to help us feel that we have that sense of protection, and that we've got that love bubble surrounding us. Hi, Moon Mel. Hi, Justine James. And what it's going to do is create a sense of safety, security, and that ability to trust again, a sense of connection to the abundance of the earth and her capacity to provide for us. With these cards I'm using, they'll always give you a centering thought. And this one is, for all of us, I am safe. I know who I am. I am connected to the healing power of Mother Earth. And we always have an affirmation, which is asking ourselves a question to elicit a positive response. So why is it so easy for us to feel safe and connected? And that's one of the things that I love about my show, The Wisdom of Essential Oils, because it's giving me a chance to connect with you, and you to connect with me, and hopefully for some of you to connect with each other. Because if we all reach out and hold hands, nothing can take us down, nothing. So that was the oil card that I drew. But I love using lots of different cards, and two that I drew today, and it's quite interesting, from Gabby Bernstein, The Universe Has Your Back, and Brendan Burchard, The Motivation Manifesto. And so Gabby first, thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest good. And again, that ties in with what I was saying before about fear, because, I love the acronym for fear: false expectations appearing real, or false evidence appearing real. So we need to be our own investigators and make our own decisions. And then Brendan backs it up with, Reality can be shaped and changed by my direct actions. And so I will act with constancy to forge my ideal life. So action starts with thought, guys. So it's up to us. What we think can become. So Justine, what brings me joy is my granddaughter. Oh yes, children are one of the greatest sources of joys, aren't they? And you know what I love about that? Children help us to go back into our own child being and to become childlike again. And when we are childlike, quite often we feel joyful. So I just write down as we go who's asked for a card so that when we get to it, I can remember. Because I'm on my own today. Some of you might remember the beautiful Nicole who comes on with me. She's got family and holiday things happening, so she's not on today. So it's just me. But what I want to talk to you about is joy. Now, what brings us joy? Now, maybe you're struggling with that. And sometimes we get so caught up in life and everything that's going on that we kind of like, what does it even look like? I don't even remember. And so some of you who may be new know that I like to use what I call Ollie the Octopus. And it's simply draw a circle in the middle of the page with lots of legs going off with more circles, and you put your topic in the middle. If you want a fancy one, my wonderful friend Kathy of Turtle Publishing has created this one for me, and you can go onto my website and you can download it. So when you put in the middle what brings me joy, I did this exercise one day, and it was things I started to think about. What just makes me feel ooh and bubbly? And it's like I love to read the topics that I like to read. I love to write. I love writing poetry. I love to sing, maybe not so well, but I love music. I love, what were some of the other things I wrote down? Jigsaws. I just lose myself in jigsaws and I get really excited about completing them. I love nature. Nature is my zone, guys, and I love trees, for anyone new on here. So when I immerse myself in nature, like have a real nature immersion, I just go to a different level. So find what it is that brings you joy. So maybe take some time out and do an Ollie. And I want to just bring in a couple of oils here that may help you before I start doing the readings for you. If you think about, do you ever go to your bathroom and the mirror's a bit spattered and you can't really see yourself properly, and you get out your cleaning products and you clean them off? Well, I think that's sometimes what goes on with us. We can't really see our joy list. And so I want you to think about getting out lemon. Lemon is a beautiful oil, beautiful pungent citrus. And when you smell that, it's like, you probably feel like you're straight in the orchard. But lemon is an amazing cleaner. And so when you get some lemon, I just make up a spray bottle with some water and lemon oil, and I spray it on my bathroom mirror and wipe it. It cuts through all the grime, cuts through any scum whatsoever. Great for getting off sticky labels as well. So clears the mirror. So think about that in a physical sense, but then on a psychological sense, it's like clearing away that fog that's around our brain that's maybe stopping us from seeing clearly. Okay, and it's also going to help us focus. So that might be a good one to start off before you do your joy Ollie. And another one I want to suggest is clary sage, because clary sage, often we think about that for hormonal issues and more like we tend to think of it like a woman's oil. On an emotional level, we think of it as an oil of clarity and vision, of being able to see beyond our limiting beliefs, being able to see that brilliance that's within. And so maybe use some clary sage. You could diffuse it. You could actually, anoint yourself with it. You could put it in a nice fractionated coconut oil, a carrier oil we use, or something you have. You might just want to put it on your pulse points, totally up to you. But it's one that might just help you to clear away any of that limiting thought process that's going on, that's stopping you from remembering what it is that brings you joy. And also, sometimes we're feeling not worthy. We're not worthy to have joy. So maybe start making a list of those things that are those limiting beliefs that are stopping you, because, that's something I'd love to help you work with. And if you want to come on an oily journey with me, a sensational exploration, I like to call it, drop a note below, contact me on my website or my Facebook page. But I like to go deep with you and help you with those things and teach you how to bring the oils in so you're empowered and you have your own toolkit around you. So clary sage could be a good one to put in there. And the other one I want to bring in first up is frankincense. Frankincense, our oil of truth, which really just helps us to, shine the light on our own awesomeness and the truth of who we really are, and really let go of any darker vibrations that might be holding us back. So they'd be three that I'd suggest that you might want to bring in before you start your Ollie the Octopus exercise, and start thinking about what is it that brings me joy, because I made my joy Ollie and then I realized that I actually wasn't doing not all of them. I was doing a lot of them, but there was some that I'd like totally forgotten about. And here's a question for you might like to think about. What was something you used to do that brought you joy? Or maybe something as a child that you used to do. Maybe it was a sport, maybe it was an activity, a creation, something creative. Because often we've shut down that creative spark because we've got too adult and we're doing all these things that we need to do to get by. So have a little think about that. But Nikki, what did you say? I've taught my partner about Ollie and he now uses it at Transport and Main Roads Business in his team meeting. How good is that? Thank you. Isn't this great? We can all share, and sometimes people will adapt various versions, and this is what I love. So please drop in your ideas, any ideas you have for what brings you joy. Nikki, I'd be interested to know what brings you joy. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to draw a card for Nikki, and if anyone else on here would like a card, and I'm hoping you do, I've got another little challenge for you too. If you want to bring some more people into the love bubble here today, message a friend and say, hey, hop on here. We're going to be chatting about how we can use essential oils in our life on a physical and an emotional level, psychological level. And we're going to be talking about how to bring joy into our life. And message them, and then send me a note and tell me that you've done it, and I'll organise a prize for you. So, Nikki, my friend, this is actually good, because this is what I wanted to talk about today, because I find sometimes what stops us from finding our joy is overwhelm. And an oil that I was going to recommend for that was Aroma Touch, which is our massage blend. So, Nikki, this is the one for you today. And I love Aroma Touch. It's one of my most favourite oil blends, and it takes me to another level. But Nikki, this is all about you, not me. So what this is helping you to do, Nikki, it's asking you to let go of that tension, let go of those feelings of overwhelm, let go of out of your life that stress that's creating you to feel a little bit tight. And so often we have pressures. Nikki, I'm not sure what extra pressure is around you at the moment, but let go of that. Do what you can to create your own boundaries, to let go of that, and just relax. So what are some activities or practices you could bring in to your life right now, Nikki, to bring a bit more relaxation in there? What we're hoping with Aroma Touch for you, Nikki, is that it can create harmony and a beautiful flow of energy. Because what happens, guys, is when we get sort of tense about anything, we're actually restricting not just our blood flow and our creating ill ease in our body. We're kind of restricting our flow of chi, our energy, and when we're in pain or in discomfort of any sort, it's really hard to get into the joy zone. It's really hard to get into any zone. So, Nikki, for you, let's bring some more harmony in there and peace. This is about bringing you peace, Nikki. Your centering thought is, I create a space within me for my soul to feel refreshed and rejuvenated. And your question, Nikki, is, why is it so easy for me to relax and find inner peace? And I feel with Aroma Touch, there's a few ways you could use it, Nikki. I love to use it with my beautiful frankincense and wild orange. I call that my sense of empowerment blend. And you might like to mix that with a little bit of fractionated coconut oil, and you can just massage that gently into your shoulders. Then use your personal diffusers. We call our hands our personal diffusers. Inhale deeply. You might also like to pop that into the diffuser. And maybe next time you go to have a massage, take it with you. I take mine with me and ask my massage therapist to use it in my massage. So, Nikki's actually soaking your feet in Aroma Touch today. Very overwhelmed from the new job, but coping nicely. Well, how good is that? Hello, Karen. How are you? Welcome, welcome. So Nikki mentions using a foot bath. It's a perfect way to use your essential oils as well. And Aroma Touch does have peppermint in it. Nikki, you may want to pop a little bit more peppermint in there too if you feel like you need a bit of a zing, because peppermint was one of the oils I wanted to talk about today as well, because so often when we're feeling overwhelmed, or maybe we're not in our joy zone and whatever it is holding us back, we just feel like it's just too hard. We're kind of like really sunken. And so what peppermint does on a physical level, it's quite energizing, and it is really good for helping circulation. So it's going to help you, really feel revitalized. But it's also, on an emotional level, we call it the oil of the buoyant heart, because it just helps to lift us out of where we are at the moment. Because sometimes we just need to do that. Bear in mind, though, we have to go back and deal with what it is that we're lifting ourselves out of it. But just for the moment, so we can lift ourselves up and get that lemon and clary sage and Frankie happening, and start thinking about what brings me joy. What does joy look like in my life? Karen, I'd love you to drop in there what brings you joy as well. So, Nikki, I hope you enjoyed that. And Justine, yeah, definitely we can do one for you. Another thought I have for you is that sometimes, and I even did a couple of ollies earlier myself, and I put this up as what stops joy from flowing. Excuse me. And I was thinking, sometimes I might have mentioned earlier about the feelings of unworthiness. And guys, what we have to remember is that sometimes a lot of this stuff is going on subconsciously. We're not even realizing it. So you might think, I don't feel unworthy, but just sit with it and think for a while. Because if that is the case, an oil that I wanted to talk to you about was cassia. Now, cassia is a very interesting oil. It's a cousin to cinnamon. So if you're currently using cinnamon, cassia is great to use in as a substitute for that as well. So whether you're making, cakes, pastries, or whatever it is that you like to put cassia in, you can use it in that way. But cassia is about just drawing you out and helping you to find courage to see your own worth and to have confidence in yourself, to shine brightly. So that could be another oil that you might want to look into. And for those of you who are new to oils, I would love to take you on an oily journey and be your oily guide. So if you'd like to know more, I'd love to share with you how to get them at the best possible price. You can get them for the same price as me. I don't believe in retail. So have a chat with me. We love to empower you to learn about the oils and then be able to bring them into your life in ways that are meaningful for you with me as your guide. Yeah, so Karen and Justine, you have a lot in common. It's your granddaughters. So this is, yes, and I know Karen well, and I know how much Layla means to her. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So Justine, I'm going to draw a card for you. Remember to tell me if you've messaged anyone and invited them to be part of today, and they're going to get something special as well. Oh, Justine, I have drawn for you Rose. Now, we often talk about frankincense as being the king of the oils. Well, Rose is definitely the queen. Now, Rose. I hope you like roses. So with Rose is all about love. All about love. You deserve to be loved, Justine. You deserve to be loved. So what we want to do, what love is in Rose is encouraging you to do, is just let go of any pain you may be feeling at the moment. Maybe you've had some heartache. Maybe there's something going on there that is really hurting you. It's encouraging you just to let go. Just let go. And, when you think about roses or any flowers for that matter, they just gently unfurl their petals, and then we see them in all their beauty. Sometimes we tend to keep our petals closed, and I don't know if this is you, Justine, because we don't want to be hurt again. But you know what? When we open up, that's when we receive true love. So love is just wanting to reassure you to open your heart, and that you sound to me like a giver, Justine. So this is inviting you to open up so you too can receive that love that you give so willingly to others. So your thought here is that this is about authenticity, your capacity for unconditional love with deep connection and openness to vulnerability. So that's about, Justine, that's what I was talking about with those petals. Just open them up. Sometimes it's a little bit scary, but I want you to have faith. I want you just to open up and know that Rose has your back. She's going to wrap you in a really big cuddle here, a really big hug, and you're going to feel safe. And your centering thought is, I am divine love. I have the capacity to heal within. I open my heart to receive. And your affirmation, Justine, Why is my heart so open and full of love? Now, what I'd like to know is give me some feedback and let me know if that's resonating with you. And if you want to go deeper, just message me and we'll have a private chat later, because this, I do only go superficially on here because, obviously it's a private matter when you start talking about emotions. Shared with Chris and Alicia, you're on today. Wonderful. Oh, there you go, Justine, my favorite. I love roses very much. So true. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's awesome. Love it, love it, love it. So, what was it? Oh, flow. I wanted to talk about sometimes, when we're not feeling joyful, we're out of flow. It's like, we've got the stagnant energies banked up where we're not feeling like, we're just in alignment, excuse me, in alignment with our values. So there's lots of things can be going on. Excuse me. Maybe I'm picking up on some of you. Maybe I'm touching on some chords here because that sometimes happens. So if we think about flow, and I just reach for my water, think about how you can bring essential oils in there to help your whole body flow. I love citrus, and I often joke and say I'm a citrus tart because when I first started learning about oils, and I have to tell you guys, I'm in my 10th anniversary of working with these beautiful doTERRA essential oils, and I love working with doTERRA because of the integrity of the oils. You really must make sure when you're using oils that they have utmost purity and utmost potency, because when they're potent, you'll get the result you want. When they're pure, you'll have the peace of mind to use them. And I have both. And so when I first started with doTERRA essential oils and I learned about citrus oils, I started putting water in, lemon in my water to flavor it and to help me, because citrus oils are high in limonene, which is really supportive of our whole, cellular function. And so I started with lemon and I really loved that. And then I learned about grapefruit and I tasted that and was like, oh, now I love grapefruit. And then I found green mandarin. And I just love green mandarin, hence why I say I'm a citrus tart. So I add that. But whatever citrus you like, if you add that to your water, that's going to help you on a physical level because it will help to gently detoxify what's going on in your body. And the citrus will give you a bit of zing and help you to be a bit more focused and uplifted. And green mandarin particularly is appropriate here, because if we are feeling a little bit, unworthy or down, maybe we've allowed some other people's toxic thoughts to affect us, green mandarin is going to remind us of our own potential. And I want to tell you the story about green mandarin, because generally when mandarins are grown, they take a lot of the green ones off to allow the rest of the fruit on the tree to get more nourishment. Makes sense. And then the green mandarins are just lost. But we've found that when we extract the oil from the green mandarin, it is absolutely incredible. So take that as, someone didn't see the potential, but then when someone did, we found the beauty in green mandarin. And that's what I want you guys to see. I want you to see the beauty within so you can allow the joy to flow. So add some green mandarin into your water. And the other thing you might want to do, I talked about peppermint. Peppermint is fantastic for so many things, but I love to drop it into my hot water at night occasionally and just have it as a tea. Other times I will use Digestin, which is a beautiful digestive blend. And if you are feeling overwhelmed at the moment with everything that's going on in the world and you feel that you just are overwhelmed, sometimes Digestin is the best thing because you're having trouble to digest it. Yes, we use it for our physical digestion, but on an emotional level, it's powerful for that as well. So you can actually add these into your water as flavoring. And I actually don't buy herbal teas anymore. So this is where it's really wonderful to learn about the multifaceted uses of essential oils, because you start saving money. So, okay, so where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, with flow. And the other thing I wanted to throw in here with flow is massage. Sometimes when we're not feeling worthy, we need to do things to show ourselves that we are worthy. And I love massage. It's probably one of my number one indulgences. And so if you wanted to bring in some ginger and some lemongrass into your massage oil, ginger is the oil of empowerment. Ginger is warming, so that's good for circulation. Lemongrass, think about a lemongrass. It's shaped like a sword, so it's going to cut through any negativity or anyone else's gunk that they've dropped on you. and also going to help you set a bit of an energetic boundary. So you can bring those oils in to help support you at times like this. So you can just realize that, you have sovereignty over your being and that you can create your boundaries and you can live in joy. You deserve to live in joy. So who else would like a card? Because I would love to do some readings for you. But in the meantime, I'm going to do one for my good friend Karen Logan, because she probably isn't asking because she thinks everyone else deserves one. So what deck will I draw for Karen? What brings you joy? Not many of you telling me what brings you joy, and I want to know. Karen, I drew ginger. How about that? So I just talked to you about, just briefly about ginger. But Karen, for you, ginger is the oil of belief for you. When I say belief, I want you to believe that you have that warrior woman inside you, that you are capable of doing absolutely everything. Ginger empowers. Ginger tells us to let go of any victim mentality, any thoughts of I can't do this. Ginger is like putting on your Wonder Woman cape and just charging. Okay, so that's you, Karen. So I want to feel that you are going in the right direction, and that when you bring in some personal accountability along with that Wonder Woman cape, nothing's going to stop you. So this is going to create a sense of empowerment to create new choices, new paths, and releasing any destruction of the past. And your centering thought, Karen, is I have the ability to create change within myself and in my life. I am empowered and I am capable. And your question, Karen, is why do I feel so empowered to live the life I desire? So drop me a note, Karen. Tell me how you feel about that one. Okay, hi, Fiona. How are you? Yeah, definitely. Kylie, doing yoga, breathing, deeply moving my body brings me joy. Oh, lovely. And you know what? Hey, hi, Chris. Lovely to have you on. Absolutely. I'll do a card for you in a minute. Kylie, you bring me to a point I wanted to chat about, because I think so often we don't stop to think about what brings me joy. We don't stop to, we're so busy being busy. So I guess a question I'd love you all to ask yourselves is, what can I do to slow down? And here's the thing. I often see people like going without, trying to find the answers outside, courses, seminars, people, books. Fantastic. But please go within first. Go within first to find. Look at the limiting beliefs. Look at desires. Look at the dreams. Deal with anything that needs to be dealt with first, because often there's a pain in there. There's a wound in there that needs to be healed, and no amount of outside stuff is going to help unless you recognize that and you allow it to open up and the pain to emerge, so that you can heal. And a really good physical oil for pain is our ice blue blend. I love it for my structural issues. What I love more about the ice blue blend, I'll start talking Swahili soon, is that it's a real teacher for us. It's inviting us to actually see that pain as our teacher, and to basically face up to it and say, okay, I'm going to be brave and allow that to emerge, so that I can look it in the eye and then allow the healing to begin, and then bring in my outside resources and delve into my life toolkit to help deal with that. So, hi, Di. Yes, Di. Oh, Di's from Scotland. How amazing. How amazing. Lovely to have you on. Okay, so I'm just going to go to, I think, Fiona. Fiona was my next lady I'm going to do a card for. So, yeah, keep dropping me what brings you joy, and what do you do to, are you actually doing what it takes to bring in that joy into your life? Okay. So, Fiona, we have Citrus Bliss for you, which is one of our beautiful blends. And Citrus Bliss is all about, invigorating you. And I mentioned before about creativity. So I love this oil. It's soft, it's gentle, but it's like giving you a quiet nudge here, Fiona. So it's helping you to it's inviting you to get back into balance. It's inviting you to let go again of feeling insecure and know that, you know, you can bring this balance in, and just to bring a bit of lightheartedness in. Let's be a little bit playful here. And as I said, let go of the fear. Come back into yourself and think, you know, how do I want to live my life? How do you want to live your life, Fiona? Because you have the say. So what we want to do here is create space to release negativity and open the heart to creativity and experience joy, cheerfulness, and happiness. So often we shut down that creative side of ourselves. And Fiona, sometimes when we do that, it's kind of a little piece of us almost dies. And so now is the time to open that up and reignite that spark of creativity. Your centering thought is, I live a life of joy and I create happiness within myself. And your question is, why is it so easy for me to find joy in my life? So get out your citrus bliss, Fiona, and if you don't have it, put it on your next order, because it is a beautiful one. And you can diffuse that. Again, you can put it on your hands, personal diffuser. Just remember, anything with citrus, guys, be mindful that they do create photosensitivity. So don't put them where the sun doesn't shine. And I mean that politely, because if you put them on and you go out in the sun, you can there's a tendency to burn. So, okay, who was my next lady? I think it was my good friend Chris. Lovely to have you on there, Chris. Chris is very creative, amazing at cooking, and I've seen Chris has been doing some beautiful work with her grandchildren, painting rocks. And isn't that lovely? You know, when you take the time to slow down and do something like that, so much else is going on in your spirit at the same time. Chris, you have fennel. Now, Chris probably uses this in all her amazing cooking. It's a beautiful spice. However, what fennel is about, it's about taking responsibility for our own life. It's about letting go of any blame, letting go of anything we've shut ourselves off to. So, Chris, I'm not sure if you've shut yourself off to anything, but it's about coming back to awareness, just being really aware and connected to yourself, and that you can take responsibility for yourself, that you can tune in to your own needs and what's important for you. So this is about creating an ability to meet your body's needs, Chris, and creating a stronger and healthier connection to it, and knowing that it's okay to put yourself first. To me, that's sometimes we think about responsibility as being responsible for other people, but Chris, you have a responsibility to yourself to put yourself first. It's okay to do that. And your centering thought is, I tune into my body, I connect with my body, I listen to it, and I honor it. And your question is, why is it so easy for me to love and care for my body? So I hope you enjoyed that, Chris. Drop me a note. Let me know if that resonated with you. So what were some other thoughts I had? I'll read another card and then I'll come back to it. Diane, you were next. Oh, from Scotland. What's it like in Scotland at the moment? What sort of weather are you having? I know where I am. I'm in central Queensland in Australia, and we've had the most beautiful rain. It's been amazing. I'm on a farm and the paddocks are green, and it's feeling very, very blessed and very grateful right now. Okay. So, Di, you have drawn one of our oils, which we call Clary Calm. It's sometimes called the monthly blend for women, so it can be used a lot on a physical level for hormonal issues. But on an emotional level, Di, I'm not sure, again, what's going on in your life, but maybe you're feeling a little bit blocked in some areas, maybe a bit closed off, maybe a bit out of balance. So Clary Calm is just inviting you to be a little bit vulnerable and to go into trust that you can either form that connection that you want to connect or reestablish that connection that you want. And what we want to do here is with Clary Calm is going to create a space of vulnerability, encouragement, and an openness to connecting at a deeply intimate emotional level. And your centering thought is, I open my heart to connect and be vulnerable. I am balanced. And your affirmation or question to ask yourself is, why is it so easy for me to open my heart to connect? Now, I'd also like you to drop me a note if you're already using doTERRA oils. If you're not, that's okay. Just let me know so I've got a bit of an idea of where you're at. But Di, that's your card for you. Let me know if that's having any meaning for you. Oh, it's very cold over there at the moment. I have some wonderful memories of being in Scotland. I did a lot of travel when I was younger. I feel really blessed. So thank you, Di, for joining us from Scotland. Justine, yes, you did share with us. Thank you so much. Anna would like a card as well. Remember, if you want to message a friend and tell them to hop on, and if they'd like a card read for them from our beautiful essential oil range, I'd love to do that as well. So just coming back to what stops us. I'll do a card for the lovely. Who is next? I had Anna. Hello, Tanya. How are you? You're here from Aussie. Good on you. What part of Australia are you in, Tanya? So just looking at what stops us. Okay, so we talked about overwhelm sometimes can stop us, pain. I talked about physical pain and emotional pain. That can be quite deep. So that's something that probably would need for me to chat with you individually in there. But limiting beliefs, maybe just have a little check-in with your mindset. Maybe have a little bit of an observation of the words you're using, because they are often powerful indicators of where you're at. If you find that you have a lot of negative conversations or a lot of sort of can't be done, if, but, those sorts of words, that can kind of suggest that you're not really in an expansive, positive flowing, joyful mindset. And words are very, very powerful. Words have a biochemical effect on the brain. And so sometimes just as simply as switching out words, or flip it. Instead of the F word, I use flip it a lot. Flip it, and you can create a different surge of energy within yourself. So Tanya's from Victoria. Oh, I hope everything's okay with you down there. Hi, Suzanne from Melbourne. Oh, okay, Suzanne. Now, Suzanne, I pick oil cards for you, and I will share the meaning of that oil card with you. So I'm happy to do that for you as well. So I'm just going to write this down, because otherwise I'll lose track of who wants them, Tanya and Suzanne. So I'm going to come back to Anna. And I love these beautiful oils. I've worked with them for 10 years, and I've seen so many amazing transformations in people by bringing them into their lives on a physical, emotional, and spiritual level. And I love to think of them as tools in our life toolkit. And I want you to know there's amazing other people, products, tools out there that you can add into your toolkit. So maybe you'd like to drop me a note here and tell me what else do you put in your toolkit. I put my massage therapist in there. I put my beautiful medium healer Nicole in there, because she helps me with some emotional areas. I have a lot of other practitioners. There's aromatherapy, acupuncturists, reflexologists, and there's a lot of amazing healers on the Spiritual Events Directory who do wonderful shows. So tap into them as well, because we can all share our own strengths and gifts to add into other people's toolkits. And so, Anna, okay, we have a blend here for you that we call DDR Prime, and it has some beautiful oils in there like frankincense and lemongrass, and so it's a beautiful oil. So what this oil is doing for you, Anna, is it's just inviting you to sort of remove yourself from any toxicity that might be going on in your life. Maybe you're feeling a bit overwhelmed. Maybe there's some damage that's been passed down from generation to generation that you're carrying, that you can let go of, because we don't need to carry other people's burdens. And so that's encouraging you to do that, and to step into a space of renewal, of transformation, and just to being the amazing being you're meant to be. So I want you to feel encouraged by this blend, that you can create that transformation. And what we want to create here for you with this DDR Prime is healing and repair from the damage that generational patterns have brought our families and our bodies. Albeit that No damage may have been intended. It's just what happens sometimes. We take it on from generation to generation. And your centering thought is, my body is renewed with health and strength. I am transformed into a healthy state of being. And your affirmation is, why is it so easy for me to create positive transformation in my life? So, Anna, I hope that was meaningful for you. And then I had, you're welcome, Di, you're welcome. Tanya from Victoria. No, Tanya, no, not Tanya, that's Suzanne from, I'm getting all mixed up. I'm not in flow. Okay. What brings you joy? Newcomers that are on here, I want you to share with me what brings you joy, what makes you feel joyful, what makes you feel like a bubbling brook, what makes you leap out of bed each day. Okay, so Tanya. Well, here we go. They keep coming up, the ones that I've already spoken about. So for you, Tanya, we have the ice blue blend. Now we love this on a physical level for its soothing qualities, and it has wintergreen in there and peppermint, and it's just beautiful. It's just lovely. It's quite pungent. So it's one of my favorite oils, as I mentioned, because I have some structural issues. But this is for you, Tanya. So this is about letting go of the fear of any pain. Now, whether that's physical or emotional, but I'm really dwelling on emotional now. So sometimes, as I mentioned earlier, if you're on, we kind of want to avoid pain, the emotional pain. We kind of like just keep, patting blankets over the top and thinking it'll be right. Push it down a bit further, push it down a bit further. But here's the thing, Tanya, if you do not deal with it, it'll often just rise up at a very inconvenient time. So far better off to just give it a little bit of a hug, a little bit of a soothing pat, and look it in the eye and welcome the lesson it has for you, and allow that pain to gently emerge, and then process it and work on healing it. So I want you to have the courage to do this, because in the long term it will be far better for you. So this is going to create the ability to accept healing. It'll help to release the resistance to experience that pain and help you to learn from that pain, Tanya. Your centering thought is, I walk through pain with courage and strength to overcome and learn from it. And your question is, why am I so courageous? Because you are, Tanya, you are. I want you to be really reassured with that. So that's for you. Let me know how that resonated with you. Suzanne, I'm so sorry you've had bad news. So let's see what we can find for you that might support you in times like this. I guess from my life experience, Suzanne, I'd like to say to you that you are never alone. The universal collective has your back, and whoever you believe in, God, Buddha, Jesus, Allah, whoever it is that is your source, ask them for help as well. So I can't, I'm not doing this on purpose, guys. Another card that I've already talked about to you has come up. So this one is for you, Suzanne. And I mentioned clary sage earlier, the oil of clarity and vision. And so what we're hoping here for you, Suzanne, is that, you can let go of confusion. You can let go of any indecisiveness, let go of all of that. Let go of any discouraging thoughts or anything that other people have put on you. And I want you to stand in your truth, stand in your strength, and know that when you go deep and you maybe just quiet yourself for a little while and listen to that little voice, your own intuition, you will find your answers. You will find clarity, and you'll find the advice that you need right now. So this is going to create a sense of vision and clarity, and a stronger sense of knowing that you have the answers. You have the answers within you, Suzanne. And this is going to create trust in yourself. And simply by doing that, you're going to open doors of possibility, many doors of possibility. So your centering thought is, I listen to my intuition and find my own answers. I have clarity and vision. And your affirmation, why is it so easy for me to gain clarity in my life? So I hope that resonates with you, Suzanne, and, sending you a big hug from me to help you get through what you need to get through. So I talked about Toolkit. How can I support you guys more than just being here every week? And it is lovely to be back with you. So those of you who already have doTERRA accounts know that you have a support team out there looking after you. And we work together, and we love to look after each other's people. We work very much as a one tree. Those of you who don't have doTERRA oils in your life, I have an invitation for you. Connect with me privately and let's have a chat, because I'd love to take you on a very special journey with some very special offerings, and help you, start on this wellness journey, bringing these beautiful gifts of the earth into your life. I love to think of them as nature's advisory board, and it's so wonderful. I never want to take them for granted, but sometimes I have to sit and think, wow, look at the number of ways I use these in my life, and I just reach for them without thinking, oh, I've got a headache. Yep, do that. Oh, I've got a bit of a funny tummy. Yep, there's one for that. Oh, I'm feeling overwhelmed. There's one for that. And we have a funny saying, it's like, we have an oil for that. But remember, you have other things in your toolkit as well. So I'd love to invite you to do that. I also am looking for partners. I want business partners. So if any of you out there want a business, maybe you have a business and you can see a little bit of an inkling where essential oils could integrate into that business. One of my passions is finding business owners who have a passion for their speciality and showing them how the essential oils can integrate into that, just to add another layer and actually create a leveraged income. So there's a couple of invitations for you. If you are in that category or you know someone, please reach out to me, because I am on a mission to oil up the world. Not just with oils, it's with everything that comes with it, because when you partner with me with essential oils, you don't just get oils, you get me. I want to be in your life as your guide, guiding you in the way that you want to be guided. So connect with me, because I'd love to connect further with you. Suzanne, oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad that resonated. Wonderful. I'm here to serve. I grew up in the outback, guys, and being so isolated, it was very much about community, supporting community. And when I was 5, I was very badly scalded, and the flying doctor saved my life. And, I had a wonderful mother who taught me about service, and she was in the CWA, and, there's always community happenings, and that's kind of part of my DNA. So I'm very genuine when I say I'm here to serve, because that's what brings me joy. That's very much in the center of my joy bubble. So who else wanted a card? Did I miss anyone? Oh, Melissa, sorry, I nearly missed you. That would have been very awful. Okay, so Melissa, keep dropping what brings you joy. Who has a favorite creativity action that they just get totally immersed in, that they lose track of time? I have been guilty of sitting up late at night doing a jigsaw and telling myself one more piece, or I'll just go till midnight. And then one morning, I remember it was 2 a.m. I just had to finish it. I was really lucky I didn't have to get up early the next morning. Okay, so Melissa, you have drawn our beautiful respiratory blend called Easy Air. And this is a fabulous oil. Actually, I just shared this with a dear friend today to use as well, because Easy Air is a great one to use in times of grief. So let's talk about you first, Melissa. So with this respiratory blend, if you think about it on a physical level first, Melissa, it has oils in there that actually help to open up your bronchioles and help to get that carbon dioxide out and allow you to take a big breath in. So let's talk about you. What I want to invite you to do, Melissa, is to take a deep breath and just get out whatever it is that's suffocating you at the moment. Maybe it is some grief, maybe it is just some toxicity, but let's just get it out, because it is not serving you. It's restricting you. It's almost suffocating you. So let go of that. Let go of that. And in doing so, you can invite in a breath of life and all the goodness that life has waiting for you. And so this can take courage to do that, because again, it's kind of like letting go. Sometimes it's a fear. If I let it go, what happens next? So just stand in your own courage there, Melissa, and let it go. This is going to allow you the ability to breathe through life's ups and downs. It'll help you to let go of any overwhelming grief that might be going on with you right now. And of course, it opens up space, because while we're holding on to all of the old energy, Melissa, we can't allow new vibrancy to come in. And so you need to release that heartache. And your centering thought is, it's safe for me to open up. It's safe for me to release all of the emotions that weigh me down. I am open and I am free. And your affirmation is, why do I feel so healed and free? So Melissa, I hope that resonates with you right now. Okay, who else do I have on here, and where are you from? Where are you from? What else do I want to talk about? Do you know what I always do for you each week is I share a blend and an affirmation, because I'm a very great believer in aromatic anchoring. It's one thing to inhale an oil, but it's even better when we actually anchor that into our whole psyche with some words that are meaningful to us. Now, normally I create a blend, but I wanted to share with you a beautiful blend that doTERRA has created, and tell you a funny little story. If you're new to essential oils and you find one and at first you don't like it, persist, because sometimes it's just what's going on in your life at that time. You are resisting it, or it's not meant for you. There could be a million reasons. And the oil that I'm going to share with you right now is exactly that. And my friend Karen, who's on today, knows this story well. It's the blend I'm choosing for you is our joyful blend, Elevation. And we were doing a market together, and Karen put the diffuser on. And after a while, I was like this. And I said, what did you put in? And she said, Elevation. And I went, I've got to change it, because for some reason it was just rubbing me up the wrong way. Well, Karen, I want you to know I've found a way to like Elevation. And I want you guys learn from my experience, my travels. What you can also do is you can find other oils to blend with the one that you're struggling with to make it more palatable aromatically to you. And so I love to pair up our Elevation blend with frankincense. And I've already talked to you about the beautiful frankincense. And so I today am wearing Elevation and frankincense. And Elevation is the oil of joy, and it's helping us to let go of any feelings of hopelessness or any moods that we've got going on that are just stopping us from stepping fully into joy. We are meant to enjoy life. Life was not meant to be a struggle. Yes, we have struggles, but we don't have to have struggles forever. We can find a way through, and we can find pockets of joy in those struggles. Even if we just find a tiny microscopic bit of joy in each day, it will actually grow. It will grow. So what I want you to do is let go. And this is what Elevation will do for you. It's kind of elevating you up. You know, it has oils, tangerine, lavender. It has sandalwood in there, ylang ylang. Ylang ylang is inviting us to be more childlike. Lavender is very soothing. We've got lemon in there, which is going to help us with our clarity. Melissa, the oil of light, it's just pleading with us to walk towards the light. So Elevation is a beautiful blend for our topic today, sense of joy. And the affirmation that I chose to share with you today is just one I made up. And what I'd love to do is come up with your own words. You can use mine if you want, but when we use an affirmation, it's so important that it's meaningful to us. And so why is it powerful to have those two together? Well, I find when I'm driving and I may be having some feelings that I need to address, I can't go scrabbling around in my bag for that oil. It's dangerous. But I can actually recite the affirmation and almost bring back that aroma and that feeling that affirmation and that aroma together created for my body, and that'll bring me peace in that moment. And so the affirmation that I created to go with Elevation is, joy flows through every cell in my body and bubbles forth with vitality. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And why I say thank you, because gratitude is the key. Gratitude is the key to life. It's the missing ingredient. And if you're not expressing gratitude multiple times in a day, you're doing yourself a disservice, because it's for yourself. When you express gratitude, it's like, wow, gratitude comes back. More things that you can be grateful for come back. And that's the interesting part about life. The more we find to be grateful for, the more we are given to be grateful for. It's like forgiveness. When we forgive others, it's not so much about that, it's about the release we experience and the forgiveness for ourselves, and then the space we open up for more joy. So that's an interesting aspects in life. So that's the affirmation and the oil that I would suggest for you if you want to bring in some extra joy. We've already talked about a number of oils today, and I'm hoping that you're going to jot some of those down and connect with me, and I'd love to help you get them. Another one, if you are struggling with other people, I like to call them joy burglars. Has anyone got any joy burglars in their life? Drop me a note. Tell me if you do. You know, they want to rob you of your joy. They're the ones that are putting a damper on you. Well, guys, it's time to set some boundaries. And if you want a couple of great oils to set boundaries, one is our beautiful protective blend, On Guard. It's an awesome oil to have diffusing 24/7 at the moment with everything that's going on in our physical world. But on an emotional level, it's going to help you set those boundaries and know that it's okay to do so, and to actually keep those joy burglars or joy bugs at arm's length and keep them out of your space, so that you can grow, that you can flow with joy. And the other one that I want to suggest to you is grown right here in Australia as well as in the beautiful Kenya, is tea tree. And tea tree has been used by our own Indigenous, for cleansing and helping with wound repair, etc., for years. But on an energetic level, it's very good for clearing out negative energy. I mentioned lemongrass before. Well, tea tree is too. And what I like about the imagery of tea tree, if any of you know a tea tree, try saying that 10 times fast. It has very gentle, soft flowers, and yet it is such a powerful cleansing oil that they extract from the tree. And so if we think about it with ourselves, we can be gently assertive in setting our boundaries. We can be gently assertive in deciding who we have in our space. Because if you allow the joy burglars in, you won't have joy, and you deserve to have joy. So thank you all so much for being here with me today. I'll be back again next week with another topic. Please tell your friends. Remember, I'll come back and comment on some of these comments later, but connect with me. Send me a private message. Love to chat further. If you'd like to get these beautiful oils into your hands, there's some really super deals going at this time of the year. So let me know, and I would love to share more with you. If you live in the local Mackay area in central Queensland, I run classes in person every Tuesday morning from the Wellness Centre in Marion. So I'd love to see you there as well. Doesn't matter where you come from, who you are, who you belong to, what oils you use, come along and let's connect and create some relationships and learn more about how to bring the wisdom of essential oils into our lives to create wealth in physical, emotional, and spiritual areas of our life. Thank you so much. Have an awesome week, and thank you for being with me on my first show. Bye.